Hello everyone, it's your boy, we're back again, and we're gonna go back into the top 10 albums of the year. Quick little thank you to my dad for commenting on the last video. Thanks for the support, appreciate it, Pete. Today we are going to do the number 8 and 7 spot, so let's just get right into it. At number 9 we have the Post Malone project, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. I'm sure you've heard this project before, whether it's on your phone or in the radio or on the radio. Idiot, I haven't done this in a while. Please cut me some slack. But if you haven't heard Beer Bongs and Bentleys before, you are literally living under a rock. This is a project that I'm sure has been touched by almost everyone. And I don't really mean that on a spiritual level, I mean that as in actually listening to it. However, this project does pack a punch. This thing is littered with probably Post best tracks to date. I can say that with confidence. If we look at his past project, Stoney, we'll see that it's a little bit more of an acoustic and hip-hop vibe. I definitely got this alternative swing from a lot of the songs, especially songs like Feeling Whitney, Broken Whiskey Glass, etc., etc. This album has a few of these songs that really take from this country or this acoustic vibe, this acoustic genre. But we have the new Beer Bongs and Bentleys, which takes a kind of new approach to Post Malone's music. It's a little bit more pop and fresh and a lot more exciting. He still deals with all the things about being a rapper and stuff, you know, being a famous person, the drugs, the women, the lifestyle, etc. We can go into it, but there are good moments on this album everywhere. I mean, there are so many songs that just are written so nicely and appealing. There aren't any songs really that I would say that I would listen to it and not enjoy it right away. I guess what I'm really trying to say is that Beer Bongs and Bentleys is kind of like the next step for Post Malone. In fact, he does a really good job of making all these tracks sound extremely polished to the point where there's like minimal error. Now we can obviously thank that to Post Malone having more money, putting more time into this album, but in the same time, I think Post Malone has found a niche that he can just destroy. He destroyed the market for. When Beer Bongs and Bentleys came out, there were so many songs that I was hearing just after the album. Songs being replayed all the time. The song Better Now, which is probably the most popular song on that besides Psycho before. I've said this before in another video. There were songs that just broke through and hit that top chart real hard. Songs like Paranoid, which, you know, for me started off a little bit weird and I wasn't really expecting this album to go in this direction, have slowly become easily one of my favorite songs to date from Post Malone. Zack and Codeine, funny titles. Like, it's a loose-hearted kind of album where these songs aren't really going to be, you know, the Mona Lisa of the art world. They're a little bit more Picasso, abstract, a little bit more fun to look at, you know, not taken as seriously as maybe his project Stoney would have been compared to. As it was his breakthrough album, he finally just kind of took a breath, got out his cigarette and his Bud Light, and just made a fun album. I can only respect him for doing that. Even the interlude, which is the Jonestown interlude in this album, is still like a pretty solid song. It sounds great. I like the theme behind it. I like how it ties in the whole album together as like this iron boot cowboy who's a rock star, a rap star. I don't know. The theme of this album really doesn't have like one narrative. It's really just a fun album written by Post Malone. You know, meant for the radio, meant to be popular, and he killed it. That's all I can say. If you look into each song or each track if you want to and look deeper into them, you'll find funny one-liners like look and spoil my night. I've never been like a small fry. You know, these lyrics aren't meant to be taken super seriously. They're more just like fun. I've said this before. Why am I repeating myself? Songs like Rich and Sad just have this awesome feeling of bringing you up, but also having this strange, sad undertone to it, because in reality, that's what it is. Not every song is just a cookie cutter good feeling. There's a little bit of depth to these songs. If you look a little bit deeper into them, you'll find that some of these songs actually have deeper meanings. Obviously, Stay has a lot more of a heartbreak, hopeless romantic feeling, because that is what the song is about. But a lot of the songs that are, you know, more poppy and flashy, and the beat and the melody, where you wouldn't really expect it to be somewhat sad or tackle a little bit of a harder theme, but they actually do underneath. Songs like 92 Explorer just come out swinging, just giving you all this flavor and just in one small little track. We have the funkadelic song Same Bitches, which just comes with this absolutely slapping beat, and YG and G-Eazy, they come, they satisfy. It definitely is because of Malone on the chorus, just killing it. I mean, this guy is on the top of his game right now. There is no chance that Post is not just racking it in next year when he puts his next project out. That's if he takes a year. He could take 2 years. I really do think this project has some absolute bangers. I've already said songs I like. It's honestly, majority of the album, you're gonna find something you'll fucking love. The biggest reason I think this is in my top 10, and you know, a little bit higher than where I put Daytona, is that this thing is executed perfectly. And what I mean is that, like, usually when you have a pop album, you'll find a few tracks where it's like, okay, yeah, they ran out there. But Post Malone just seems to be this never-ending well of potential. In fact, I'm really excited for his future projects because of how well he handled this one. I was kind of expecting this thing to flop. Obviously, I was excited because I know I do like Post Malone, but I knew that I didn't like most of his music, and I was feeling that I wasn't gonna like this album. Right away, I could tell that this thing was just fun, catchy, meant for radio, and there isn't necessarily anything wrong with that. In fact, I think that's what makes it better. It's more appealing to more people. I don't think I've ever gone to a party and not heard either Rockstar or Psycho. Like, those are songs that still last, and that was a year ago. So we need to kind of pay credit to that. That definitely is impressive that stays on the air that long. And that is the hip hop side of the album, not even talking about the pop or the alternative or the country. There is just a lot of genres being tackled by Mr. Malone, and he is doing God's work on every single song. So thank you, Malone, for putting out an excellent album. Let's move on to number 8. And this is a little bit different because although it's kind of in the same category as what I would say Beer Bongs and Bentleys is, it's not nearly as big as Post Malone. So who the fuck am I talking about is what you're wondering. That would be Boy Pablo's newest album, Soy Pablo. If you don't know Boy Pablo is a, we'll say a nice little band. I don't even know where they're from. Research away, they're actually an indie pop rock band from Norwegian indie pop rock band. Super cool. I listened to their previous project a long time ago, Roy Pablo, and that thing was a nice short little EP. And he definitely drew. You can tell from Roy Pablo that a lot of inspiration was being drawn from Mac DeMarco, and he kind of sounded like a little bit of Rex Orange County. If you're familiar with these two artists, they have this more like dreamy, wavy aesthetic, especially Mac DeMarco, and then we have Rex Orange County, who's this hopeless romantic, who is just that casual white boy in the suburbs feel, kind of hard to put into words. It's just a lot more of a casual approach mixed with this lucid, dreamy-ass guitars and synths with this groove, and the fusion is perfect. In fact, this is like ear sex for me. Like, his last album absolutely blew me away. I would listen to it all the time. Songs like Everytime, and just, oh my god, the chords, holy shit, heavenly, like almost stimulating. Like, this album, or this EP we'll call it, because it really was just a little EP, it was fantastic. I mean, wow. Your Phone too, every song just has this catchy little riff that just plays through, and the way they build up the songs and then just release all this energy at once near the end is just fantastic. And that was just Roy Pablo. So now we get a more matured project from Boy Pablo, and that is called Soy Pablo. I've spent a lot of time talking about Roy Pablo. So what makes Soy Pablo good enough to be on my list? Well, here's the thing. Everything I said from the last album pretty much applies to this one, except for one thing, and that is what really makes this album special to me. You can tell that Roy Pablo had a lot of Mac DeMarco influence on it. If you look at Soy Pablo, it almost feels completely different. It feels like he's found his own style. And I'm gonna say his own style, but it's mostly the band. The band still has this excellent approach to these catchy riffs, these amazing little guitar patterns, these strumming patterns, the way they layer their instruments. Did I mention I love his voice? Did I mention I love what he sings about? Did I mention I love those fucking chords? Did I mention I love the guitar? Did I mention I just love these songs? I mean, I listened to this project because I literally looked on my phone and I was like, I wonder if he's put out any new music. Literally just happened to check on one Friday, and put out a new EP. I was ecstatic. He only had 2 singles out kind of in the summer. He put out the singles Sick Feeling and Losing You, which were immediately put in my playlist as soon as they came out because that's just how much I love Boy Pablo. You can definitely blame a lot of this to bias because I just really enjoy happy-go-lucky music, especially when there's these like quick little nodes to being upset or sad about a girl or, you know, this lovesick idea. He's got this really awesome boy band feeling, but he doesn't overdo it, which is something I like. He's got corny bars, you know, he has fun with these tracks. Like, he doesn't really take himself seriously, and you don't have to take it super seriously either. You can just enjoy this music because it is good music. Now, when I say Beer Bongs and Bentleys was like an excellent display of like what should be on the radio, this album, to me, by Boy Pablo, definitely feels like what I would want to hear on the radio all the time. Like, obviously, mass appeal is different than my appeal, but still, this is an album that I enjoy so much that I could listen to like any time of the day and it would just put a smile on my face. There are so many good songs. Of the 7 you get to listen to, it's a short little project with 21 minutes to go, but still, why does it have to be longer than that if it just kills every track? Obviously, I want more music from Mr. Pablo, but if he has to put some work in to make these songs so beautiful, then I will let him take like years, as long as he just keeps giving me new music. That's all that matters to me. I'm really excited to see how he matures, but there are a lot of good, like, amazing songs. Feeling Lonely is just this explosive start to this project. I mean, I just get like shivers down my spine as soon as the guitar riff kicks in by itself, just the start. And you know this album is just not gonna slow down. And then Sick Feeling, let you go. Na, 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 na. Wow, I really do just fucking adore this project. I mean, that's just one song. It has this beautiful arrangement of the songs where it honestly, he could have put the songs in any order he wanted to and I'd love it, but I just love the order it's in right now. It just goes from up to a little bit softer, then back with just explosion, energy, and just fun. I don't know. I really am getting excited over this thing because it is like a short burst, just a 21-minute, just enjoy your time. I don't know. You may not enjoy it, but this is a project that has minimal issues with it. I mean, you could say that his bars are a little bit corny. You could say that, you know, the way he sings can be a little bit cringy. But if you kind of just accept it as him taking it for fun and who he is as a character, the character of Boy Pablo, you just start to realize that that is what the album's about. Like, he could have chosen to touch up a bunch of things, but he left it there because that is what the character wants. The character of Boy Pablo is just this hopeless romantic young kid who's just singing his heart out to these beautiful, lucid, dreamy, easy to just fall in love with songs. He's just singing, and the music behind him is just pushing him up into this state of just beauty. I'm going awfully poetic for a 7-track EP, but God, is this thing not just saturated with flavor. It's a little bit hard for me to differentiate songs because of how heavy his style influences every song and how distinct his style is, but I can definitely tell right off the bat that I'm listening to new songs every time. This is a project that I often just shuffle play the entire way through. There's a lot of albums where you'll draw a few songs from it and put it in your playlist depending on what the vibe is, but this is an album that if I had to, I would just put every song in a playlist. Like, they all stay in like a very like similar lane. I love it for that, so I just blast it whenever I'm bored. It is a pile of fun. You have to listen to this project. It is just infectious. I'm running out of words to say because this thing is just potent. Is there a theme between me choosing these 7-track, albums, EPs in my list? Well, mostly because you would see the errors in them if they showed up. That's a really good, way to find out if an album's good or not. If an album has 15 tracks and there's like 5 bad tracks or even 3 bad tracks, that's still a hefty percent of just the album that isn't good. So when you have a 7-track EP, you have 1 bad song, you will see it and you will realize that this really has some issues with it. The fact that this thing doesn't, and it is clean all the way through, lets me know that he cut off all the excess that wasn't good enough, and it truly is just a perfect little project. I would put it up higher, but it kind of lacks a deeper insight to like a certain theme. I definitely think Boy Pablo can tackle, specific issues in his songs, but he kind of just sticks to "You Never Call Me Back" or "I'm Feeling Lonely," "You're Wearing My T-Shirt," like "I Thought We Had a Connection." It's nice on the surface level, and it does add a lot to the song on its own, but he could always just take it a little bit deeper, and that's probably what holds it back just a little bit. Other than that, this thing is explosive. I really want you to listen to this project. Tell me what you think in the comments, because I know for a fact there are people out there that will absolutely adore this music and they haven't found it yet. Just take it from me. This is music to my ears. One terrible joke later, we are back at the end. Did you like it? If you forgot somehow, number 9 was Post Malone's Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Number 8, Boy Pablo, Soy Pablo. As for this video, we're gonna try and just do daily uploads. I don't know, maybe a vlog one day and music the other day, or you know, I'm just gonna do what I do, you know. Keep putting out content for you lovely people, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Fucking adore the hell out of all you got, you fucking cuties. So yeah, thank you for being so damn attractive.